everybody. Sorry, I'm a bit late. I tried to go and make some coffee. And then I don't have music for you guys, so I'm back. I'll go fetch the coffee later. Good morning to one and all on the stream. Good morning, Rul, and good morning, Mac. Your Discord with us. Rul, are you flying with?
I am on my way to the call.
Alright.
Are you online already?
I'm not on viua online, but I'm on YouTube.
Yeah, I've still got the music here.
Serious?
Yeah.
Very strange. Alright, I found it and I've killed it. Thanks, Mac. It is so soft. That's why I didn't hear it. I thought it stopped. See, my son's still sleeping here next door, and I didn't want to blast him. Anyway,
No, that's fine. Yeah.
anyway, as long as you guys can hear me now, I'll go fetch the coffee in a few minutes.
Well, you've got 3 people watching here. Are you on Facebook as well?
No, just on YouTube.
Go and get your coffee. We can't have you running dry.
Okay, I'll be back.
We can wait. Those viewers that have just joined, he'll be back in a second. Nico's just grabbing his cup of coffee.
Otherwise, he won't manage the start of the morning.
I'm back. Damn it, that's not what I wanted. I got a new mouse, and it is so sensitive. You touch it and it moves. That was 2mm too far. So anyway, this gives me a golden opportunity to actually talk to you about this as well.
Hello, sir. I am Sandy, your first officer today.
After yesterday's stream, and I've obviously removed it from my YouTube channel, I did have a very nice meeting, a long meeting with Eugenie from JarDesign. We did a screen share on Skype, and we went through this aircraft, and we went through flying circuits together. First him, then me. We looked at procedures and all. And one of the interesting things that transpired is, just like with the Zebo mod, when you move the aircraft to a different runway, different parking, or if you finish the flight and you want to start a new one, he also suggests to use the developer menu to go and reload the current aircraft and art. So I'm going to do that. I'm hoping it's going to go back to Golden Dark. Otherwise, I'm seriously going to reset the sim. Just reload from scratch because I want to do the full startup process. So my whole journey going back to the JAR, doing the test flights and everything, started with a couple of guys complaining again about the JarDesign. And there's obviously a very negative vibe in the simulator world when it comes to JarDesign, and it's needless, it's pointless, it's factless, it is baseless, and a lot of it, 99.9% of it, comes down to user error. So for the record, I just want to also admit that my landing issue is also a user error. It's me doing it incorrectly. And I had the privilege, like I say, to spend time with Eugenie, and he made a couple of valid points there. So I'm gonna do this stream to just show you guys
Hello, sir.
what I've learned,
I am
basically,
Sandy, your first
and
officer
hopefully
today.
we can kill some of the stigma or some of the nonsense that's floating out there regarding this aircraft, and we can actually inspire a couple more people to actually learn how to fly it correctly and to actually enjoy it the way it was designed. And that's in a nutshell a quick summary of the idea behind this. I thought that was going to turn. Okay, so I'm just getting light on the subject here, making sure everything works.
What's John up to?
He's gone to macro with my wife with the
Oh,
lockdown
yeah.
and all the nonsense now here with this new strain of the virus and all they're talking about. We've gone back to level 3 lockdown. We were on level 1, and I said to Renee, you know what, you need to go and stock up on food for the month because you don't know what's coming next. You know, if they take us back to lockdown 5, you can't even go to a shop to buy anything. That's non-essential, and they actually go and wrap a lot of things and just, you know, prevent you from buying things. So
Yeah.
they've gone out to stock up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Torsten. Lucian on stream, yes sir, the settings are made exactly the same. It looks different, or it appears to look different because of the different graphical user interface. The principle is still exactly the same. I created a new aircraft for SimBrief, a new template for this JarDesign, and I made one in STKP so the values would all match together, and also I did it like yesterday morning sometime. Still exactly the same. As a matter of interest, there we go. There is the camera for this aircraft as well, just similar to what we have in the Zebra, just the video monitor sits in a different place. Just thought I'd point that out. Alright, happiness is, let's get going. Let's start looking at all the loads and everything. So I'm going to use this version of the McDo. Forgot to export this flight plan. I just need to quickly do that. You're welcome. EGGW. W. It's that one. And we can insert that. Right, now if we let this guy do his tests, I can't do much until he's finished with the first couple of things, because one of the things he does is once he did test the pressure over there in the hydraulics, and then he switches the parking brake off, and then all the stuff at the outside just magically disappears. So I'm not going to use him for absolutely everything anyway. Raptor, yes and no. There are areas where it beats all of them hands down, and there are areas where it's not on par. I think the flight factor and Tollus might be a little bit more advanced in the MCDU, but in terms of the graphics and the immersion factor, this one beats them hands down. There's nothing preventing you flying from A to B. It's not study level, if that makes sense. It's good enough to represent Airbus, and it's good enough to give you the look and feel of it, but it's not to the same exact study level in the MCDU as the others would be. I'll show you around a little bit now, just for interest's sake. Awesome. Yeah, I'll show you around just now. Just quickly connected to iVio and then also to EA cars there. All right. Okay. So let's start from the outside. This one comes in two variants. It's built in by default. You get it when you buy it. You get the Neo engines or the CFM engines. You choose Pratt & Whitney or CFM. So I've chosen the big air dryers for today's flight. Very nice big engines, lots of power. I mean, totally overpowered, I would say, for this aircraft, but it's lovely. Right, then if we go, need to get my X camera up on screen here, come now. To go to the cabin. This is the cabin. There are all kinds of nice to haves built in here. If you look closely, you'll see the runner on the ground. That's your emergency lights for your emergency exits and stuff. Depending on the mode that you are in, they will either guide you in or out, or from the middle outwards. So you can play around with the modes. I'm not going to go into that much detail. Two class aircraft, we can actually move around. These presets are in my OneDrive also, so if you do get it, you can just get the presets. Let's get back to the front. There's something very interesting I want to show you. Cabin front. If you wanted to simulate to that level, there's actually a magic switch here at the top. And that switch is basically, if you come into this aircraft when it's cold and dark at night, you basically flick the switch and you'll get some minimal lighting and stuff going. So it's not like you're getting into, you know, a haunted house in the middle of the night. It will give you some form of light and some indication. I haven't played around with this thing in a while. Some of these features actually simulated, but I'm not going to go to that level now. Inside of the cockpit, one of the things these guys have done is they've made absolutely everything clickable and workable. So you've got your feet rests, you've got your tray. You can choose whether you want to use a tiller or you want to use your rudders just by clicking the pedal. That's all built in there. Every light switch, every thing that you want, even this one here, you see there, shows it on and off situation there. All these things work. They've really gone all out in terms of the graphics and the wow factor. They've even added the video camera. So there is the monitor at the top. Depending on the amount of times that you press it, it will cycle through the actual screen, the actual cameras inside of the aircraft. There it's off. Next one should be a cabin door. Yeah, there we go. Cabin entry. Alright, so that's a nice to have. What they've also done is this switch actually locks the door. So if you unlock the door, you can now physically handle the door, and if you lock it, you can't. Then it's locked. Okay, so that's one thing. The one thing that they had before anybody else was the weather radar. This weather radar is actually functioning, right? And they had it way before any of the other guys had it, months and months before. What is nice about your throttle here is they've got click spots. So if you want to quickly get to a mode, you can simply click on the click spots. I tend to not use it. I move my levers and then I just look down to see where it's at, but that is available to you.
There's one thing I missed though.
What?
On the joystick, the autopilot disconnect button is non-functional.
Oh, that one. Okay, I didn't know. You see, I don't use that there. I've got everything on my actual yoke. So, okay, cool, Torsten. Thanks. Didn't realize. Right, then, what they took away, I don't know why they took it away, because it was working for many of the versions. It was working. We could actually open the side window. And there was a secret button that you had to press. I'm not going to give away the secret in case they want us to use the secret again, but there was a secret button you had to press to unlock it, and you press that button and it would slide open, and it was marvelous. I used to love having it open while I'm prepping and doing my thing, but anyway, they decided to take that away for now. Hopefully they'll bring it back. There we go. Some of these things actually open up. I was under the impression this one does too. Yeah, there you go. So you can actually test your oxygens and stuff. Another nice thing is this. You know, so if you fly into a sunny area, problematic area with the sun, you can actually use them. Each and every one of these buttons actually work, like I said earlier. So you can set your brightness and things the way you need it to be. Now if I look at the preview of the next model that's coming, this is nothing compared to the new one. The new one will actually come with a tablet and a whole bunch of new switches and features that this one doesn't even have. Raptor, they are constantly developing this, and this is one of the nice things about it. Why I kept on supporting them is they never stopped developing this. You will find all the information on their forum or on their website, and what they also have is you can actually call Eugenie on Skype. I had a long session with him last night, a marvelous guy. You know, I had a long talk with him. So you can call him, ask him, you know, but speak to them on their forum. They are, they also on their Facebook page, they continuously put all the pictures. They've stopped now because some people were complaining. You know, you always get a complainer, unfortunately. You know, where they actually showcased the tablet that's coming and all the new switches and gadgets and things. They're really going all out now to make it a very nice aircraft. So yeah, and not as if it's not, it's really a great aircraft. And I mean, like I said, all of these things actually work, you know. So you don't just get an empty shell with an excellent McDo, you actually get, you know, a fully functioning Airbus. Now I need to get the click spot to put this one away. Can you believe it? I can't find it. Where's this click spot? There. Alright. Obviously you can buy Sandy additionally. That's going to be an extra $10 or $15 to get that. I make use of the BSS sound pack in this version, so you'll hear the sounds are quite good and very nice. Let's quickly start our normal timer there. The right click spot there quickly. This new mouse is very sensitive. There we go. So that's our normal timer that we use. The top one is the actual chronograph. They actually also simulate the brake fan. So if your brakes are hot, you can switch that on. Fully functioning terrain radar on top of the weather radar there. Well, I'm not familiar with the FS Labs Raptor, so I can't exactly tell you the differences or the similarities. But you know what? For $45 or $50 or whatever this thing is compared to $90 for a flight factor, it's worthwhile giving it a shot. There are tricks. We'll talk about the tricks that I've learned in the last few days shortly. I'll explain some of the pitfalls that really frustrate some of the simmers, you know, but again, it's free to ask, you know, all they need to do is ask for advice and they'll get it. Let's quickly run through some more of the systems here. Obviously, if you are using Active Sky, this thing seems to be a bit of a problem at this time. It was working, it's not working, but if you put your information in there and you update via this thing, this gives you your METARs and stuff. So if you are on the default weather, this actually works very well. I think, and I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, I think they've disabled this because of a clash with Gizmo, because that's the one everybody complains about. And also there was an issue with Xpilot. This thing and Xpilot didn't like each other, so I think for that reason it's temporarily disabled until they fix it. But it's really nice to have a functioning weather report. Yeah, and you can actually switch between your departure and arrival airport, and you know, get your update. You've got your full METAR right there. So you can actually press that button now. Alright, then if we go to the overhead, let me just set the temperatures correctly, otherwise he's gonna moan. Alright, so what we've got on the overheads here is this is for the refueling. So they've still got the legacy refueling system, but you can also use this refueling system. So as a matter of interest, while we are here, let's quickly see what our fuel load should be, then we can put that in. Alright, so we've got 5.2 tons. So if we go 5.2 tons, we can actually switch it on. And then what should happen at some point in time, there you go, you see it will start to increase. Alright, and then it just goes and stops when it's ready. Now when you switch this off, it diverts back to the old legacy system, and that's what the legacy system looks like. So if you're in a hurry, you know, just go for legacy, pump it up to where you want it, click the refuel button, and it goes zzz, and it's there. You know, if you don't want to see that, obviously you can use that facility. Alright, there's not much else to tell you about. This one is kind of a tricky situation to get going. Everything needs to be on nav, you need to be on STS, and you need to be on one of your systems. I usually use number 1, then you press enter, and then the alignment starts. And then I just go put it back on the wind when I'm done. So just a habit I have. Ooh, we've still got this one on. Alright, so they also give you the ability to have pop-ups, and you can move them to a certain extent. Not all over the place, but to a certain extent you can actually move them, close them with the X. The same goes for each of these ones. You can then, see, in a pop-up, if you zoom in, obviously you just have to put it in a different place. So but I'm not sure how to stop it. I obviously clicked something that got it going. Torsten, how do you stop this thing,
Oh, you have to press the clear button, I think.
I did. Right, let it run. I don't care right now. Sandy will stop it when we start using him. Somewhere there must be a way to stop it.
Or click the all button.
Yeah, there we go. Well, thank you so much. Alright, so Sandy will obviously work that for us pretty soon. Alright, that's about it. But so then we've got 2 different versions of the MIG2. We've got this one, and I've got a shortcut, which is this one. It's up to you which one you use. You can set it whichever way. If you go into settings, you can also set, this is where you load your packs. So according to my system, yeah, I need a payload of 17. I've got 126 passengers now. You can't get to exactly 126 passengers, but we'll try and get close to that as possible. So we'll have 122 or 127. Doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, to make the thing balance, we have to get to a payload of 17 tons to get the results of the OFP there. So all we're going to do is just up the ante here. So there you go, there's 17 tons. That tells us what our trim should be. Also, what is nice is you'll also see it is always reset to 0 when you start. It will automatically set that once you filled in the blanks in your MIG2. So we can then go and hide that. We don't need that. Because it is a JarDesign product, I'm not sure if it was this one or the A330 where you actually got the ground handling for free. One of them actually... Sorry, Torsten?
The 330 includes ground handling.
Okay, alright. So anyway, then you'll have to just buy ground handling extra, but there you go, there's all the ground handling stuff. And what's nice is when you call them, the doors will automatically work. They'll open and close as need be. Alright, then we can actually control the doors from here as well. Fuel, I've already shown you the fuel there. It's probably going to call the freaking truck now. See, the ground handling deluxe includes a fuel truck. We'll see, I hope it didn't call one now. Anyway. Right. Other settings you can set, like I said, is you can go to the CFM engines. There you can see you've got the baby engines again. See, not the big air dryers. Let's actually keep this one here. Now we can go back to Pratt & Whitney. Right, you can change your wing tips. See, the wing tips have changed. Top of descent pause, you can have your camera shake on or off. I'm going to switch it off. I've got Experialistic. I didn't realize that was still on. Next page, SATCOM on and off. My one's got it on. Okay, there you can specify if you've got the TCA quadrant or not. Load with the MCDU on or off. That's this little widget you see here. So I just have it on off. I call it with a shortcut. Alright, then you can specify if you have your spoilers on an axis or not. We don't use that, so one of those things. Alright, so coming back to the aircraft, let's use this one. Flight number, let's start programming this. 001. Right, so we've loaded the packs and the fuel already, so we can put this in. As I go through Raptor, you'll obviously pick up, you know, the simulator shortcuts versus, you know, what your other one that you meant, that FS Labs one would probably work, so just keep an eye out for that. So that's the initialization page, then we go to our flight plan. Our departure is going to be runway 25. And I think it's that one, yes. Go for the arrival will be ILS 128. Huh? I missed it, I actually did. There we go. And BAGSO to X-ray. Alright, so there are a few ways you can do this. Obviously, we can scroll through this way. And then Eugenie showed me something yesterday that I did not even know existed. So I'm going to just quickly show you that as well. Right, so that looks cool to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this. Go for this one. Pull it a little bit out of the way. And then I'm going to show you this. That's the right one. Alright, so this is what they call the big map. Alright, and I can actually move this map and I can go check the flight plan. I can actually zoom in and out and then move it. So this is a nice, neat little feature that I never knew they had. Actually check that it works. How's that? That's very nice. So we can then go back to the aircraft just by pressing the button. You can go play with that. So you have to set up a keyboard shortcut for this, otherwise you won't get this. Alright, so let's look at the rest of this. Then we need to go to the preferences page. Alright, one of the things I learned last night is you need to set the QNH before you really continue further. So it's 986. Right. Okay, so now you can click on V1, V2, the rest, and then your thrust reduction, just click on the button, it actually works it out for you. You click on the button, it actually fills in all the rest for you. Alright, so those are a couple of sim shortcuts. I tried using that fancy calculator that most of the streamers use on the net. I'm not convinced it's compatible with this version of the Airbus, so I skip it, and I was glad to find the sim shortcuts for these things. Somebody who's more familiar with an Airbus will probably have different ways of working it, you know, so up to you guys. Good morning, Olaf. Goeiemorgen. Right, so we've done the initialization, the preferences, and the flight plan. We're basically ready to go. I think we should do. Let's let this guy work for a change. Commands, procedures. No, you don't. No, you don't have. I don't even think there's an execute command. There isn't even an execute button. As you type it, it takes it. I just want to start the APU quickly. Just have to wait for flaps to open. Okay, if you Airbus drivers see me do something out of sequence or something, I'm not using a checklist of any sort, so I don't have one. I'm going to have to get one. I'm not familiar with the Airbus to the point where I would recognize if I do a mistake or not, so don't kill me for it, but you're welcome to advise me. I don't mind that. I just click on all the buttons, you know, view, and they go on. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the ground crew away, ground handling, drive away all, and then thereafter we'll get old Sandy here to start doing his magic.
Before start procedure. FMS takeoff data. Cross-check. Doors. Close. Cockpit to ground, please disconnect external power. External power disconnect. Beacon lights. Set on. Thrust levers, idle. The ACU press indication is in the green band. Before start procedure completed.
cockpit. Please show me where you want to go. Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Good morning.
Hello.
Okay,
yes,
all doors and hatches are closed.
How's it going,
Ready to
Nico?
connect.
All good. I've just put some coins in my Airbus again.
Oh, okay. Well, fine. I can accept that.
I had a long meeting, a long chat with the developer last night,
Yeah.
and it was an awesome meeting to say the least. And the least I can do is show it off and hopefully do it properly enough that we can generate some interest in the aircraft again.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do one more flight and then it's off to 33 to go test it. So we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah, I just downloaded the 33 actually.
So
You mean the
connected and
33 of the
bypass
Zibo?
inserted.
Mm-hmm.
Release parking brake.
Yeah, I just downloaded it.
Starting pushback and you may start engines.
Engine start procedure. We need to prepare APU.
Engine start procedure.
Engine start procedure. Ignition start. Starting engine 2.
Sasso, by the way, I'm live on YouTube. We're not sitting in the live on air chat room, but I am live on YouTube. Just
Yeah. I found you.
Okay.
Every time I go on YouTube and you are live, you are like the first
Okay.
to appear. So
Awesome.
I always know when you are live. It's like Big Brother.
Starting engine 1.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Engine start procedure completed.
Alright, so one of the things I honestly don't understand yet about this aircraft is you do all the pre-flight checks and stuff, your flight controls and these things, so I'm just going to skip that for now. Alright, so spoilers are on, flaps do, the rest is good. What is our temperature, by the way? It is 0 degrees and there is moisture in there. So this is also one of the things I honestly don't understand about the Airbus. I'm literally just going to take the Boeing procedures for the anti-ice. Good morning, William. Walking back.
Disconnecting tow, stand by.
Morning, guys.
Good morning.
How are you doing? All right?
Okay, thanks.
Tow is disconnected. A bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Sorry, Shifty, I was busy eating a little cookie. How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, good.
Good. Saw your post on the forum. Well done. Thank you.
No worries. I'm going to do more tests on the vertical speed thing as well. The approach logic I had issue yesterday. Make a
Awesome.
video on.
Okay. One thing I need to do is to recalibrate this, the pedal and the taxiing situation a little bit in this aircraft.
Yeah.
It's very abrupt. If you just touch the pedal, it just, you know, pulls you very hard to one side.
Yeah, mine does as well.
Before takeoff procedure.
Before takeoff procedure. Brake pads. Off. TCAS mode selector. TARA. Transponder. On. Exterior lights. Set on. Cabin crew, advise. Sliding table. Stop. Before takeoff procedure completed.
Right, let me just check this web eye. Who's where doing what? Okay, there's nobody here, so I can go.
behind you.
Awesome, but there's nobody coming in. Ah, I see, Torsten. Welcome. Awesome.
Approaching 2-5.
I'm gonna backtrack quickly. Just for that extra 200 meters.
With those
On runway
strong
07800 feet remaining.
I did take off from here last night as a test and almost ran out of the runway. I'm not as heavy as last night, but you know, playing it safe.
On runway 25.
Thrust set. knots.
Gear up.
Exterior nose lights off. Runway turn off lights off. Pack on. Pack on. Spoilers disarmed.
Hello, Roy. Sorry, missed that, Roy.
I don't miss that breakfast every day.
Okay.
Selector above. Seatbelts off.
Mac. Oh, he's not here anymore. I wanted to say this reminds me of the army. Hurry up and wait, you know. Now, now you just sit and wait for the next thing to happen. Righto.
Task traffic selector. Set all.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning, other guy. How are you?
I'm fine. Nico, I text you with the acorns problem.
Yes, cool. Yeah. Okay, I see if I look at the system behind the scenes that it says that a few of the flights were cancelled. So whether it was you cancelling it or the system cancelling it, I don't know. Right? But it's been coming for a while now, so I'm not sure if it's a huge error at this point in time, really.
I only thought I bring it up because
Sure.
the cancelling was from older flights.
Yes, I can see that.
Now with other pilots had the same problem.
I think a couple had. I've noticed Anthony had a few cancellations. I've had at least one that got cancelled. It went like into a timeout, and it happened when I loaded the flight plan into iCars. So it's like it went into a timeout. So I had to cancel it and restart it. Not sure when exactly your one didn't work, but let's just go back to your workout. Yeah, I see the 27th you had EGGW to Lepa. That's my logo.
It was a flight that was cancelled.
Yeah, that flight shows cancelled. It's EGGW to Lepa, but I see you did it and it actually accepted it. The second time around it took it. So the first attempt was cancelled, the second one worked.
The first one I did on purpose.
Okay, yeah. Then, if you go down, ENTC to EFRO, that was on the 19th at 8:30 p.m. And then EHAM to EIDW, that was also on the 19th at 3 p.m. Those are all cancelled ones, so it's difficult for me to say whether they hang up or not. All I can see is just it was cancelled.
But that flight's also on purpose.
Okay. Alright, yeah, then it's not showing me the unpurposed ones or the non-purposed ones. One of the things that they are busy doing, and that's why we had to update yesterday, is they've added logging text. They want to see what's happening with ACARS, especially with some of the issues we've raised on the developer server. So let's keep an eye out on it. Let's see what works, what doesn't work. But you did exclude it from antivirus now, right?
I going to do it this day.
Okay.
So this afternoon I planned a flight from Berlin to Eindhoven.
Okay.
I will see what happens then.
All right, cool. Yeah, and then we'll just have to look at the logs, ask the developer to assist us there. I see Anthony is also struggling a little bit there.
For me it's not a problem, but only when you're on the VI side, it's not right. It says 12 flights instead of 6.
It obviously is looking at the sum total. It includes those ones that are cancelled. So that again, that's something only the developer can fix. Don't let it worry you, boy. Don't let it worry.
It don't worry me, but I thought maybe it was a problem.
I think it's more a problem of logic than an actual error. You know, I don't know the logic of the developer, how he envisage this to work, because obviously if there was a flight and it was cancelled, it was still a flight that was there. So I don't know, I'll have to ask him.
Okay, thank you very much.
No worries.
I'm gonna leave you guys. My grandson is over here.
Okay, enjoy. We're going to talk about the landing shortly as well, because the landing was my problem, Joe, and it's a problem for a lot of guys, and I'm going to try my best to do a good landing like I did under instruction last night, so hopefully we can get that mess out of the way as well. It was surprisingly. Raptor, that's a very good question. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think that's a little bit too advanced for this. I've never ever in my life tried to actually use any of that. So if you want me to look at something like that, brother, you're gonna have to tell me how to do that. I'm not sure. Let's take Dandy. There's a hold. There's waypoints, airways. Holds, it seems, is there. There we go. There's definitely a hold. What's that going to be? 285. 285. Let's do a hold. Why not? Now I'm immediately looking for an execute button, but it doesn't work that way. Ooh, there's holds. Okay, how would one go about putting a fixed ring in this thing? Thorsten, anybody?
You don't,
Oh,
but I can show you in Natalis how it works.
alright, okay, alright. If you have $1 handy sometime.
I mean, if the aircraft had the capability, you click on any waypoint.
Okay,
Now, it works a little bit different than in Boeing.
yeah,
Or you can imagine it is as if you were to click fix in
Yeah.
Boeing without selecting a waypoint.
I
So
understand.
you have to type in the waypoint.
Yeah,
No, first of all, correction. In the Airbus, you have to click on some line selector. Then that will bring up a menu that will say fix info, among other things. And then that's where you click fix info, and then you add your waypoint there, and then you get the option to choose a radial or a distance and so on.
yeah.
Normally when you click a waypoint, right, then you get the options next waypoint, new destination, and hold and things like that.
Yes, I did
And
that.
then additionally, in this page, you also have fixed info. That's
Alright, okay, but there is no such thing. So, Raptor 50% done, sir, but no, there's no fixed capability here that I can see.
Yes. It's, in my opinion, a very nice to have. To
Yeah.
add range runs rather.
Of course. But okay, that's one thing that Jar obviously needs to put in for us. There's the hold. I am thoroughly impressed with the fact that we can actually have a hold here. I've never in 10 years or more of owning the JarDesign buses ever done a hold. That's why I've just done one. Woohoo! Who knew? So while we are in the hold, let's quickly go and do that. And my phone's ringing. Hold a second. Right, I'm back. That thunderstorm last night seemed to have created a problem. Torsten, I see you on my TCAS there, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, awesome. There you are.
Because we should really be very far apart. So I don't know what altitude you're at.
I'm at 330. Well, if it's not you, I'd presumed it's you because you were flying behind me. Hang on, let's see who is that behind me. Yeah, no, it is you. I'm doing a hold, so I'm flying directly opposite direction to the flight now. You understand? So I had you there on TCAS for a brief moment, and there's another guy there. Don't know. You seem to have dropped off now. Probably the way I'm facing. But anyway,
Yeah, WebI is being very slow.
Alright. 402 actually. Temperature. Hello.
Good morning, AG.
Hello, Christer, on stream there as well.
Nico,
Yeah.
exit in orange denotes that you entered that.
Yes, that's where I need to press to actually get out of the hold. That appeared after the hold was created, and that's my way to get out.
You press it after that first turn.
Yeah, once I'm straight and level again, press it. I hope. We're gonna try, Joe.
Otherwise, you would continue the hold.
Yes, exactly. Until you exit it, it will just continue.
Seatbelts on. T-Toss selector below.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell you what, I love my Zebra. I'm not changing the Zebra for anything in the world, but this is a nice change, just for the heck of it. We'll hit 33 on the Zebra after this one. So let's press the button. Okay, I've hit exit. So I presume it's exit. I don't think we need to change anything here, hey Torsten? Raptor?
Normally you don't.
So you just
But
click exit.
sometimes you have to set a direct.
Okay, because the hold is still there. It's just not armed or amber anymore. Well, if it does another hold, it does another hold. But then we'll know. Then we'll just go for the direct to. You know, once it turns away, we'll go direct to LELDO.
But in theory, you haven't completed the hold.
Exactly. Yeah, we're still in there. Oh, there we go. There it's exiting. Yeah, we're gonna fly the Zebo afterwards, Christer. After this, we're flying the Zebo. Okay, but now I need this thing to start the descent now. Why, when it's in managed mode, it doesn't want to descend? It does, but not as harshly. It's looking for the path, for the VNAV path. Now I had my top of descent right there.
You've actually done a regular descent.
Yeah. Now it's not. I mean, that's my end of descent over there. So when does this thing think it needs to start the descent?
And also it's accelerating.
Yeah, it needs to. It wants to go back to the normal flight. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. There it goes. Okay, we're just too much in a hurry, it seems. We're expecting something that it's not expecting. Interesting that it's on the VNAV path and on the speed, and happiness seems to be ease, you know, that could be. Exactly. Just a bit too much in a hurry. Oh, Torsten, you won the usage of runway 28 left as number 1.
Yeah, unless I enter a board too. I'll leave some skid marks.
As long as you don't leave sharp edge parts on the runway to bust my tires, I'm okay. Ooh.
Guys, I'm gonna go for a while. Actually, I'm gonna try something on Twitch. Let's see, Nico, if Streamlabs decide to work today.
Sure.
I will do some checks and then come back.
Awesome. Krister, if you go into, let me show you how it works. If you do this, so if you go into the VA and you go to flights, and you go to arrival airports or departure airports, EIDW, you can quickly find EIDW or reference to EIDW. Alright, so these are the flights that are all going to EIDW. So what you can also then do is click on EIDW, and there you've got all the inbound and all the outbound flights. So these are the connecting flights that are currently linked to EIDW. If you, let's say you want to use Lime for SASO's sake, right? So you can look at the flight number 144, alright? Then you can go back and you can put in 144 and do a search on that one, and there's the actual flight. So you can now bid on it, or you can go drill into it and have a look, see what it's all about. And that's how you find out how to link to EIDW. Negative. There's two ways of booking it, Joe. You can bid on it. The reason you bid on it is to make yourself a little flight schedule. So when you go into ACARS, instead of just searching for a flight, you can click on bids and it will show you your little schedule. Alright, that's what the bids are for. Or you can just go into ACARS, search for a departure and a destination, and then it will give you a list of connecting flights, and then you just pick one. It's another way of doing it. Krister, the system is not going to block you from simply starting a flight at EIDW. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. I did not implement the rule to force you to fly from one airport to another airport. You can literally go pick up one of those flights and then come fly with us. What is my next flight? I think my next flight is to EGNM again. I just want to check because I want to use the Zibo for that one. Let me just quickly check mine. That's my bids. Yeah, I'm going to Leeds Bradford afterwards and then back to EIDW. And the reason is to test the new Zibo on a shortish flight. I just picked that one just for a test. Turbulence here, right?
Landing lights on. ILS indication on.
Okay, I got you on degas again, Torsten.
Yeah, I'm doing a little over 200 knots.
Excellent.
And turbulence is coming in now.
Oh, it's heavy.
Transition level. Approach phase activate. Ready for approach checklist.
Altimeter setting.
Okay, Torsten, I'm slowing down quite a bit now.
Yeah, I'm down to 160.
Yeah, I'm slowing down to, I don't know, somewhere there.
I've definitely got some crazy turbulences going on here.
For sure, for sure. Me too. Yeah, I'm slowing down to 150 it seems. In actual fact, it seems very low right now. Wow. About 150. There's the runway. Crazy turbulence. Looks good. 20 knot crosswind on the right.
Tenerife start. I'm just flying at VS, test if I can wind up the approach altitude and it'll look out at you.
It's a standing job. We've gone past it.
Exterior lights on.
Yeah, it's cool. And a nice to be hellish when it's shown.
It's mad.
Yeah.
I've never done a flaps 3 config with this aircraft. We're going to try that as well now. This is a terrible, terrible windy landing and approach this. Shifty,
Yo.
you reckon the Airbus works the same as the Boeing when it's this turbulent and with this hell of a crosswind you don't land full flaps? Or do they not work the same?
I'm not sure actually. I don't know what the flies different, doesn't it? The flies like a ground speed. You need the Airbus. I don't know the systems too well.
My problem too. Okay, well I'm gonna try flaps config 3. Ooh, it's slowed down now. It's better. Okay, let's go back to 4. Sorry. Thanks for the help. Anyway.
You're both about the same distance out of the runway. How about that?
Very good. We great minds think alike. Nothing wrong with that.
Once you felt
Yeah. Torsten, are you off the runway?
Runway for good.
Flank you, sir. Ah, see you now. Beautiful. Right, the pilot is off. Let's see if I can land the bus. Oh, that was hard. That was hard. I think I was too heavy for this 50 feet reduction.
Gas traffic selector. Set all.
4,000 feet remaining.
I want to quickly just do a manual
3,000
go
remaining.
around. Just a Luca one.
2,000 remaining. 1,000 remaining.
Okay guys, the reason I want to do this is obviously because that was an hell of a hard landing. I just want to try again. Last night while Eugenie was helping me, I did the most beautiful landing. It wasn't even funny. So just to show you guys that this aircraft can actually land very nicely. I'm really going to try my best for a second time now. I'm off Iveo, by the way. Don't want to interfere with the traffic there.
I can see you ghosted on the runway.
Yeah, probably. So we're just going to give it another bash. Oh, and you know what? I did change it in the MCDU. I never went for full flaps during the actual landing. That's also my fault. Wow, this is turbulent here. One of the things about this aircraft. Hello, Uncle John. They've just come back. One of the nice things about this aircraft is you can fly this thing by hand like magic. It really, really flies well by hand. Just do a tight turn there. Let's go down. Ja, ek gaan nou land. Ek sal nou vir julle kom haal. Laat ek net klaar maak.
Approaching 2A.
How's that? You see? So it is doable. That is the big story. It's all about how you fly it. And yesterday when we were frustrated with not being able to land this aircraft, like I said, I took the time, me and Eugenie sat, he showed me how he does it, I went practicing, and if you actually take care, you can really land this thing
Caution
very
on
nicely.
taxiway. On taxiway.
So, one of the problems I had yesterday was, and I don't want to debate that too much, but apparently, from what I understand, is I was too fast. So by the time that the aircraft said a retard, and I mean I was on the magenta pin, I was on the speed, right? But by the time it says retard, and I pull back on my power, I basically pulled my nose up too soon, and having that extra energy, that's why it would do the whole porpoising thing. So now what I do is I judge the weight of the aircraft, and then I obviously will use 30, 40 or 50 feet above the runway, where I will then pull back on the power and then just glide down. And obviously 50 feet was too much in the beginning, and I was on the wrong flap setting, so I just crashed down at 500 feet a minute. the second one, I had more control over it because of the hand-flown circuit, and I could judge it a little bit better, and you all saw the results there. So I'm happy. I'm going to fly this aircraft a little bit more. I won't overdo it. Zibo will still win every time, but I'm definitely going to fly this aircraft a little bit more. I think it's wonderful. And I thank the guys at JarDesign for the extra effort they put in this fly-by-wire system. It really flies very well now. And that, guys, is it. That is the JarDesign for this morning. My next flight after helping the wife and Uncle John with all the chores now will be to go and take the Zibo 33 for a test flight and see what happens. If possible, I'll stream it. Otherwise, I'm just going to do it privately on Discord. We'll see what happens. Gents, you have a very good day. Thanks for watching. Sergeant, you came in just at the end here. Sorry, I just noticed you. Guess what? I'm getting the EGGW 737. Awesome. Go enjoy that one. Have a fabulous day, guys. We'll talk later. Bye-bye.